The cost of college has increased at a rate much faster than the rate in which wages or take-home income have. According to the Washington Post article, which is linked in the description below, wages have increased only by 0.8% per year from the year 1996 to 2006, and only by 0.4% per year from 2005 to 2015, while the cost of college has increased by 500% since 1982. 500%. It is 5 times as expensive as it was in 1982, and has increased by 79% between August 2003 and August 2013, according to the website collegechoice.net. This huge increase in cost, coupled with parents and students not increasing their wages nearly enough to compensate, have left too many students riddled in debt, sometimes for decades after they leave college. Students left in this debt purgatory are increasing in number and becoming a serious economic issue. And you cannot be too surprised as to why. The average in-state tuition now costs about $10,000 per year. After accounting for room and board, you are looking at around $20,000 to $25,000 a year, if not more once you account for other hidden fees such as parking, rec center services, health center services, costs like those. Private universities cost even more on average, ranging up towards of $60,000 per year if you want to go to some place like Villanova or more like the Ivy League schools. You might ask, why have prices been increasing for so long at an extremely high exponential rate? While obviously I'm no expert on this subject, I think it's pretty clear that there are several factors affecting college's rising cost problem. First, is that a college degree is considered by people in society to be much more necessary than it was decades ago. It is pushed to students, all throughout middle and high school, that they must complete some form of post-secondary education. If not, you will be stuck flipping burgers or working some other low-wage customer service job that no one wants. And to an extent, they aren't wrong. Without a college education, it is much harder to succeed in today's society. Companies will almost always choose someone with a college degree over someone who does not have one, even for low entry positions. That does not mean that a college degree actually prepares you for a job, which is something I'll discuss later or probably in another video, but it does give you an edge over someone who does not have a degree when applying for a job. And I think that's fair, because other than a college education, there usually is not some other major factor that would make the non-educated applicant look like a better fit than the applicant with the college degree, especially when coming right out of high school or in those early 20 years. Obviously, some older person might already have some in-field experience with whatever major they're working with, but when you're comparing some 20-year-old, they're obviously not going to have that much in the major or in that field experience. Now, this is not to say that there aren't other ways to go about your career. The military and manual labor jobs are both great career paths that are underutilized and have lots of openings, mostly in the manual labor jobs. The military is actually becoming harder and harder to get into. But just as there are many people who, in my opinion, should not be going into college, there are just as many, if not more people, who should not be going into a trade field or in the military. Since a college education has become a needed commodity to succeed in many career fields, not all. I know some people in the comment section will be like, oh, well, I started my own business. Again, that works for some people, but a lot of fields and a lot of kind of people, the jobs that they want to have require college education. So don't come at me saying, oh, I started my own business or I went right into selling stuff, because you're different. There's not enough jobs. Not everyone can go and do those things. A lot of people need to get college degrees for a lot of majors. Just putting that out there. It is simple economics. If the demand for college degrees go up, price will also increase as people are much more willing to pay for it. So, is a college degree worthwhile? Well, I think it depends on what major you choose. There are several majors that, in my opinion, do not teach you much more than what a couple Google searches can teach you. Not to get anyone triggered here, but history, foreign language majors, theology and religion majors, and philosophy are all majors in which most of the classes you can take can be learned through reading published and peer-reviewed documents and papers. All the degree is doing is saying, hey, I was dedicated enough to work through 4 years of BS. All the information about history can be seen online, and to be honest, infinitely more in-depth and expansive than the amount that will be covered in the 4 years of education. I do think that people have to be careful when doing research online. Getting trustworthy, unbiased sources is hard, but so can be dealing with moronic or biased professors. Another area of concern for me is, what will you do with your degree? If you are majoring in African or women's studies, theology, or some type of art major, you're going to not only struggle to find a job, but to find a job that pays enough to take care of your loans. And I do not believe that government-funded scholarship money should go to paying for degrees of this sort. I am more than willing to pay taxes to get the brightest minds in the STEM fields, majors that actually matter. And these fields are not only the ones where jobs are, but where the money is as well. Look at the top 20 paying jobs, and any of the dozens of results will show engineering positions, statisticians, actuarial science, lawyer positions, research analyst, and financial positions. These are the majors that can make enough money to quickly and effectively pay off loans. I do not want to be paying for someone to go into a field where they're only setting themselves up for failure, as that failure will then negatively impact society for possibly decades. Economists are saying that a student debt bubble could cause the next stock market crash, very similar to the housing bubble that was responsible for the 2008 collapse under President Bush. So how this would happen is, as our generation is coming out of college, they're coming out with an obscene amount of debt. And since this is the biggest generation yet, they're going to be responsible for, boosting up the economy by spending their money. However, they won't be able to spend their money on the economy. They'll be putting a lot of their income right back into the bank's pockets for paying off their student loans for a very, very, very long time. Now, when you take all this money out of the economy and you're just giving it directly back to pay off loans, the economy is going to be taking a big hit. Products aren't going to be being bought. The economy is not going to be growing. It's going to hit and stall and then crash. People won't be able to go out and buy tons of new technology, the new iPhones, new TVs, new VR systems. They won't be able to go out and buy new clothing brands. Clothing brands are going to take a big hit. Other, not necessarily necessities, people will still obviously have to buy food and electricity and power and stuff like that. But wants, things that people want, technology, clothing, entertainment, products like that are going to take a big hit. And it's similar to what happened with the housing bubble. People were paying too much for the houses. They couldn't boost up the economy enough. And the same thing's going to happen. But this time, instead of with houses, it's going to happen with student debt. And this is a serious issue that they aren't really taking any major actions for. You can't repurpose an education like you can with a house. So that option isn't really available there. You could argue that the banks shouldn't be giving out loans, or like Sally Mae in these places shouldn't be giving out student debt loans to everyone, kind of like how that banks shouldn't have been giving out loans to irresponsibly people for houses. You shouldn't be giving out loans to everyone for college. I think that's a big issue. I think a lot of people who are going to college shouldn't be going to college. People who aren't prepared, people who are going for the wrong reason, people who aren't mature enough, people who aren't smart enough, people who are going for the wrong majors. These are all serious issues or reasons why you should not be going to college. And it comes down to a clash of the opposing sides. On one side, you have many careers now requiring a major or a college degree, and the fact that a lot of people shouldn't be going out and getting those college degrees. I really don't have an answer on how to fix that issue. I think also another issue that we have that we'll be facing soon is that a lot of jobs will be becoming irrelevant after computers and AI are developed more. We are already seeing this with automated cars and McDonald's starting to use computers to take orders. This could happen to college majors as well. Many people will be put out into the streets and be forced to re-educate and retrain to rejoin our workforce. But that is an issue for another video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you agree or disagree. I can't wait to debate with some of you. That's what I look forward to when I make these videos. But anyways, hope to see you in another video. Take care.